Hi. Thank you for joining me. I'm Eva Kelly, your tarot advisor. Sorry about that. And welcome to Darkness and Light Tarot. So today I'm excited because love reading, love tarot readings, okay, are one of the readings that I have done the most. But funny enough, when people, let's just say people, men or women, come to me for love readings, it ends up always about, I'd say 99% of the time, the reading ends up being about the person and their personal relationship. Because when you're in a relationship, right? It doesn't matter any kind of romantic relationship, okay? Because we're talking about love, right? So when you're in a relationship, okay, if you're not straight with yourself, if you don't love yourself properly, if you have unfinished or unhealed I guess, parts of yourself, right? Then automatically they will leak into your relationships in your life. And that's not just romantic relationships, that will be in friendships and relationships with your family, your siblings, your parents, okay? Now, sometimes these dynamics started with these people, but it's why it's so very important that if you want a healthy relationship, romantic relationship in particular, because this is what we're talking about today, then you really have to work on yourself. It starts here. There's no exception to that rule. It starts with yourself. But that is my experience. And one of the things that I want to look at you, and I'm not going to use the tarot spread. Remember, my last video was what is a tarot spread, right? I'm not going to use the tarot spread because I have looked out there and my research has shown me that I'm going to make my own love tarot spread, because I feel that like all of the tarot spreads were like, is this going to work out with this person? Or what is that person thinking? Or, will I meet this person in soon, 3 months, 6 months, a year? Like, it's one of the reasons I personally feel that tarot has a bad rap. Okay. Why? Because people like, okay, let me say, the tarot readers try and please their clients and are trying to give them what they want to hear. But a real tarot reader, for me anyway, a real tarot advisor, consultant, reader, coach, there's different kind of tarot readers out there, right? They will not go in and start pronouncing that, well, you're going to meet your life partner soon and whatnot and whatnot. They will say, if you are open and if you are in respect, love, and integrity with yourself, and you put yourself out there, go out of your comfort zone. Don't just do your regular things and the regular routines, because they're not working to help you meet people, right? So what does that mean? That means, go do different activities, volunteer in your community, or I don't know, go to local activities that are organized that you can participate in that you like. So let's say, I don't know, an improv group, or I know not everyone's comfortable with that, but I'm just giving an example. What other example can I give you? Those painting class, that everyone comes together and they paint a certain kind of painting at that class, or wine tasting, or events, or these kind of things. If there's something that interests you, like people that come together to speak French together, or whatever it is, right? Find an activity in your community that you will meet like-minded people that share at least similar values and share similar interests to you, so you can connect with these people, right? So anyway, just kind of warming it up. By the way, I'm doing my live from Quebec for the last time this week. My previous Video was done in Quebec as well. And this coming Thursday, my live will be back in Calgary, back at home with hubby and the boys. So just kind of throwing that at you before I throw myself into a example of a love reading. I love tarot love reading. So just really quick before I get into this, each person will come with their circumstance and their needs, the clarity that they're searching for. So some people are not in a relationship. Some people have just broken up and they're heartbroken and they're looking for clarity and what's what, and really want things to work, but know that it probably won't. And sometimes they just need a little bit of insight, right? Some people, have been in a relationship a long time, it's not working, and they need guidance. They don't know what to do. They just need some, solution, or once again, insight. And so, because there's so many different kinds of circumstances, it's why I feel that I could make like 5 different tarot love spreads, right? And they would all be pertinent because they would address the different needs that y'all have, depending on what circumstance and situation you're in, right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to use the Light Seer Tarot deck again, and I also have my trusty Sacred Destiny Oracle deck. Sorry about that. So I just letting you know, I'm using these, and I bring up that because I want you to know that the examples I will be giving you in the cards I'm going to pull for you today are simply possibilities of what a love reading could actually be. It's not going to, by no means will I look at all the different possibilities imaginable possible, because each circumstance is different. All right, so let's jump into this. I'm going to mix them a little bit. They're pretty well mixed already. Did I just switch that? I just switched that. Okay. So they're pretty well mixed, as I said, but I want to do it a little bit before I start. So I'm going to do it. All right. Beautiful. Just to put my energy in it. I'm not doing my ritual as usual that I do for a real reading, because this is truly just an example and I want to give you a little bit of insight. I'm knocking my cards, by the way, to change the energy and to kind of, just my energy will reset the cards as well. And the knocking kind of helps. It's one of the possible ways that you can reset the energy in your cards when you don't have other tools. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with 3 cards. And if something else pops up out of the deck, then might be more. Let's do this. Grounding myself. All right. All right, card number 1. Oh, that was upside down. All right. So let's do the mixing. Okay. Card number 2. Mix it real quick. Card number 3. And I'm feeling led for a 4th card. So let's do card number 4. The cards are not jumping out at me. Oh, see, I just had to say it for it to jump out at me, right? So last card jumped out at me. All right. Now today, we're already at 9 minutes, so I won't do oracle cards today just because of the time that I've already taken for the video, but I will do another reading later on, probably another example of a love reading, and I will use my oracle cards. Okay. So card number 1, let's do this. Ooh, 6 of Pentacles. Now remember, just reminding you, Pentacles is linked to Earth, and it is, the 6 is like We've just come through, the middle of our journey is always kind of hard. We can't go back since we have a lot to go forward. We still got to kind of remember the 1 to 10, 1 being the beginning, 10 being the end of the journey. So at the number 5 card is always a bit of a challenge. And the number 6 is kind of the promise of, and seeing that, starting to see the fruit of our efforts. So here is the 6 of Pentacles. Once again, we're using the Light Seer Tarot deck. Beautiful card. I love this card. And if you notice, they're almost like coins, right? And remember, Pentacles has a tendency to be in our heads. So sometimes, we're worried about, whether it be our financial situation, our situation with the person. What else can it be? Sometimes it's that we're worried that, we're very much in our head, is what I'm trying to say. And so when we're in our head, right, we're thinking a lot and we're not in our hearts. And so sometimes we just need to, because often it's fear, right? Oh, is this working out? Is this going to work? Or, why is this person being like this? It's hard for us to understand what our partner or what the person we're involved with romantically. Sometimes it's hard for us to understand, right? What's going on in their minds. We are not mind readers. Thus, the importance of communication, right? And so this card, if you see, there's the infinity sign, right? And the infinity sign really represents that everything has an ebb and flow, right? We're never going to be in a good part of our life forever. We wouldn't appreciate the better times if we were always in the better times. So we're always going to have challenging times. And something to kind of reflect over is we learn through our challenges, right? How are we going to learn? We wouldn't need to learn if things were doing good all the time, right? And so knowing this is kind of a card where it shows that you have to give and receive. You have to be able to have that open mind of, I have my struggles, I have the way things I see, but the other person does too. And I need to be able to allow them to be who they are, and as much as they need to allow me to be who I am, right? So it's great. I love how this card kind of has the balance of the two, and it encourages us to let go of trying of the fear and the control we kind of try and have often, right? As human beings, right? It's part of being human. We're always going to want to control a little bit more if we because of the fears that we have. And everyone have fears, and we all have our strong points, right? It's just part of being human. All right, so that's card number 1. So card number 2. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles, a very strong, very grounding, very self-trusting card. Now, once again, the Queen of, yeah, someone has a question for me. Hi. Yes, please ask any question you would like. I'm very comfortable with taking questions. If you would have something for me to, any question I can ask that's related to maybe love reading, just for the sake of the video today, that would be great. So go ahead and write in the chat area. I would love to answer your question. So until you do write the question, I am going to continue looking at the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so when you block a person that's in your life, and the person keeps on trying to come back to you and come back and get in touch with you, okay? What's the person's real intention? So let's move away from what the intention is for just 1 sec. If you've already put a personal boundary, and that person is not respecting that personal boundary, they've stepped out of respect and integrity and in love with you. So automatically, okay, if you've said no and you meant it, and they're still persisting and still persisting and still persisting, then they are disrespecting you automatically. And honestly, I've because I've had to deal with these kind of situations with other clients and in my life in the past, I've removed these people from my life because I love and respect myself to know that I don't want someone like that in my life. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that, you know, I have the privilege and I get to choose the people that I want to have in my life. And I choose to not have that kind of person in my life. And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the way you love and respect and are in integrity with yourself. Does that answer your question? I hope so. Awesome. So let me know if that answers your question. And I hope that gave you a bit of insight. JRA makes sense. I was hoping it would. So I'm going to come back to the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is the ultimate. She's the ultimate. She trusts in herself. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants and she doesn't want. She has healthy personal boundaries, what we were just mentioning, right? JRA, just a minute ago, right? She knows who she wants to have around her and who she doesn't want to have around her. She's comfortable. She goes into nature to resource herself, to fill her cup, and to feel connected with herself, with the earth, with whether it be her God or her gods, with her spirit guides and her people from the spirit world and whatnot. And so, depending on what your beliefs are, what your or non-beliefs, right? It really depends on how you connect with yourself. But she is the ultimate epitome of the female, just a woman, strong woman, nurturing and loving, but still firm and, almost like the steel magnolia. So in this reading, she could be interpreted in many ways, but often it's for women especially, but for men too, is to come back to themselves, come back to yourself. Love yourself fully, trust yourself, look for your answers and inside of you. Trust your own personal wisdom, and you can't go wrong. And you got to learn how to know to get to know yourself as well. You don't just trust yourself like that. It's a process. It's something that when you don't know how to do, sometimes it's really scary. And it's scary to trust yourself and to get to know that instinct inside that tells you, yes, I want this, and no, I don't want this, right? So that's what this card can represent a lot. And to make sure that you take care of you. This card is very much about the person that is going to be going into or is in the relationship. All right, next card we have, yes, for a major arcana card. The last two were minor arcanas. We had two pentacle cards, which means a lot in the head, right? Everything's kind of the fear, the stress. Oh, I'm too much in my head. I'm not in enough in my heart, right? Now we have the major arcana, the Justice card, number 11. Now, the Justice card often, it could be many, many things, okay? In love, I would say justice would be make sure that there's fair honesty. Once again, the love, respect, and integrity from both sides, right? You see how in the card, there's the scales, there's the light, there's dark, right? We all have our darkness and light, all of us, right? We all have our vulnerable, fearful sides, and then we have that beautiful, vibrant person, whether we're men or women. We have this strength inside of us that we just need to tap into. We just need to trust and we need to allow ourselves to embrace. But we need to embrace our, vulnerable, fearful side too. It's so important, just as much as we embrace our light, right? And so this card is really about finding that balance, right? Finding that in between, finding, allowing yourself to figure out what that balance is, right? And that's in the relationship, but first and foremost with ourselves. First and foremost with ourselves, so that we can have that in our romantic relationship and all of our relationships. All right, so beautiful fourth card. Last but not least, a swords card. Now, swords is the air, the element of air is connected to swords, and also everything that's material, our finances, our studies, our jobs, everything in the physical realm and physical world today, right? Now, remember, minor arcana is day to day, and major arcana is more general, a season of our life. Okay. So the swords here. Now you see how I love this card because you have the reflection. Okay. You have the, am I a prisoner, or is it just something that it's not real, but I'm like keeping toxic things in my life? Do I have things, people in my life that don't serve me? I just have them in my life because I'm used to having them in my life, or a job that's toxic, or that I'm being bullied, or that the boss is abusive, whether it be of your time or disrespectful or whatever it is. Now, in a relationship, okay, sometimes, like, I'm going to give you an example of myself because I've had this myself in the past. Okay. I found myself through a friend. Okay. I was helping her out, and I realized that I had the same pattern with my husband. I had a tendency of depending on my husband too much. Okay. So meaning I expected him to do this and do this and do that. And a lot of these things I could easily do for myself, but I just had gotten in the habit. It was a pattern. I don't remember when it really started, and sometimes we have habits like that in our life, whether it be with the person that we're in the relationship with, or whether it be with ourselves, or whoever in the other relationships that we have, right? And so one of the things that I really love about this card is you get to choose. Do I keep these things in my life that no longer serve me? And do I stay in a relationship that's destructive? It could be many things, right? Am I the one that's getting in the way of my own happiness? Am I the one that's holding on to things just for the sake of holding on to them because they're familiar? And why would I want that to change? You know what I mean? Sometimes we hold on to things that doesn't even make any sense, but because they're just part of our routine and we're just used to them, they're still in our lives. Whether it could be relationships, like I said, it could be things, it could be so many things, right? It could be activities that we're involved with, friendships that no longer serve us. It could be so many things. And so this card gives us an opportunity to choose, do we keep these things that no longer serve us in our life or not? Because we get to choose. We have that privilege. We have that opportunity. Woo! Beautiful. This has been really awesome. I'm so glad I have a few of you that showed up I got my first question here. I love it. And yeah, I love that I'm getting, there's someone that was a little bit triggered by me coming on here and sharing about tarot. Not everyone believes in tarot. I really use tarot as a tool. I'm a life coach, youth outreach worker, intervention worker. I've been quite a few on the community level. I've had quite a few roles, and I feel that tarot is my ultimate tool and gift that I can truly serve you as my client. So once again, I love that I had a few of you here join me. For those of you that are joining afterwards, I hope you enjoy my content, my videos. And if you do, please like and subscribe. Always very appreciated by me. And once I hit the 1,000 members of my on my channel, The Darkness and Light Tarot, I will be giving a special giveaway. I will share a little bit more about that, but I'm just kind of throwing that at you once I hit the 1,000 subscribers. But how about the first 100 first? So the first 100, I will offer a free tarot reading to the 100th. Actually, I'll do a draw. I'll do a draw of my first 100 subscribers, and I will get in touch with that person. Probably I'll say it on my live, and the person can I'll put my information underneath my email, which I probably should just do automatically. And I will get in touch with that person and offer them a free live tarot reading to give you with any kind of tarot reading. Okay. All right. So thank you for joining me. It was such a pleasure being here with you all. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time on Thursday. Bye.